What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to go over the Fortnite Series 3 Mega Box sales, and they have been very eventful. We are pulling data from the last 7 days, and we are using the Terapeak eBay sales research tool. Now, this gives us pretty good information, but it doesn't give us everything that I particularly want. But let's go ahead and see what they got. So when you search Series 3 Fortnite Mega Box and you change the filter to 7 days, this is what you would see. Now, if you look at this chart, you can clearly see people were overpaying like crazy out the gates, and now everything's starting to stabilize. Just the first week, there's $96,000 in sales, all sealed product, right? And this doesn't encompass everything. This is just mega boxes. So that's really what intrigued me to really dive into this. Now, you can't really get much information out of average sold price or sold price range, and really this graph doesn't really tell you anything either, because this is going to encompass lots. It's not all single quantity mega boxes, so that's why we have to really dig. One interesting thing to note before we really dive into this is there was 217 sellers. I bet you at most there was 5 actual Fortnite collectors in this entire release. I have never seen scalping this much this fast. It's like when PS5 released. Crazy, man. So what I've done is I've actually imported all of that data from Terapeak over into Google Sheets. So in the first column, we have all the same descriptions. And notice how there was links before. We still have the links. So if I really wanted to dig into this a little bit more, I could actually open this up, go and look into it a little more if I really wanted to. Now, this is going to be available to you guys, just FYI. I'll have it in the comments below. Feel free to make a copy and make any changes that you like. So the next column is how much it sold for, whether or not it was an auction or not. I had to go in there and input all that myself. I definitely wanted to know shipping, and I wanted to account for that with the cost per box, which is the end goal of this. I also wanted to know how many total boxes were sold. So I actually had to go through, and anytime there was a lot of 2 or more, I actually had to input the value into this slot. Originally, I was dividing the totals by the number of quantity of boxes and then inputting that number into sales price. Eventually, I figured out about halfway through that I really didn't even need to do that. So I wanted to make sure I took into account sales tax. Now, every state's different. I just went with 6% because that's somewhere in the middle. So I have a column for adding shipping and the subtotal, and then I have a column for taking into account the tax. So this column here is the actual amount that the buyer paid, roughly give or take a percent. Divided this amount by the true quantity of boxes, that will give you the price per box. Now, what's interesting is if you sort by the date, you're gonna see a lot of really high numbers on the 25th. And that's because people were overpaying and giving scalpers all of their money. I'm sorry, guys. All is not lost. The value will go up over time. Like, that's just inevitable. It's Fortnite trading cards. It's the mega box. Remember, the price that you've been seeing online isn't the real value. You have to take everything into account, shipping included, tax included. First thing I wanted to know was how much total boxes were sold in the first 7 days. And the answer is 1,507 in 7 days. That's 215 boxes a day on average. Season 3 is happening a lot faster than Season 1 or Series 2 by like 3 times. It is 3 times as fast, easily. And remember, this is only mega boxes. So notice when you take into account all costs, $102,000 were spent versus what Terapeak is reporting of $96,000. So significantly more out of pocket. And then that brings us to the average price in the last 7 days, with all things considered, is $68.14. Remember, when you're making private sales, there's no sales tax. Typically, shipping cost is included. So it is pretty interesting data. I'm glad I did it. I probably won't do it again. This was just to really get a feel for the intro into the collection. I'm most likely going to switch focus to actual individual skins at this point. But I hope this video was cool to you guys. I love doing data analysis. Otherwise, it's just a complete guess. Until next time, I'm out.